Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, one of the rulers of the underworld, or specifically the ruler of Manga Hell. And today we'll be reacting to the newest chapter of My Academia, chapter 345, titled Division. I guess this is gonna be one of those chapters where we focus on a single sequence for so long that essentially it gets annoying. Oh well, what can you do? Let's hope at least it's gonna be a fun content. So yeah, now we start the first page off with seeing basically the walls or the cages, capturing all the villains a bit from the outside, as then there's like the second war continues. Something about this makes me think I shouldn't have read this thing out loud, but I can't put my fingers on it. Well, I hope no one gets triggered, because it's all I can say. But let's get into this chapter and hope I don't remember why I shouldn't be saying these words. So anyways, we see a Toga and a bunch of other villains, and surprisingly enough, one of these villains seems to be the same villain who was in the Aqua facility where during the USJ arc. I think his name was Hans or something, but I can't put my fingers on it exactly. So as if we see like one villain be like, the cage, it's moving. As then Hans responds with, do they really think this thing's hold us back? As we have Toga who's in there as well, she's like, break through it. As she then remembers that Izuku was there, and she's like, no. As then we see like a bunch of water coming out of it, one of the Nomus destroying it, and some other villains destroying it as well. As there we have Darby coming from his cage, it's all being burned down. It's like, you're pathetic, little cave. Didn't even last 3 seconds. So yeah, as there we see Darby taking off something, as we see Shoto there, as he says, 3 seconds was all we needed. As we see Burner and Edok and Samakio coming there for a clash. As then we have some screaming, restrict their movements. As we see all the heroes going there and their fights against them. And also very nice shot of Burnan's behind. So yeah, anyways, then we cut to a different era where we see Endeavor and Kamen Woods going at some villains. As then we get someone saying scatter them, as we see Ochako and Tsuru together. As then we have Bakugo screaming like Deku! As then we have, I'm guessing All Might. I'm guessing it's probably All Might saying it. It's like, seize the moment. As Izuku responds to Bakugo with, yeah. As then we have everyone saying, everything, in order to fulfill separate you, you had to get sucked into the warp gates at the same time. As then we see the cages be sucked into the warp gates, as Monoma is just laughing his ass out, be like, ha 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 ha! As, get a load of this! As then we see that villain who's we still have no we still haven't got his names, but that guy with a sword who's like who was a part of Dobby's division. He's like, this can't be. You capitalist pigs! Just how much money did you spend on this? I guess he's a liberal or a Tifa member in this case, but oh well, what can you do? Then we see a guy who I'm guessing might be related to the former number 6 hero Crossed, pure by the way his has shape and from what seems to be his quirk activated. It's like, how'd you like that? I bet you're gonna love our anti-decay measures too. You thought you could just waltz in here and do as you please. Well, no, you're going to pay for it. Well, whatever relative you are, Crossed, I hope you're ready because something tells me you're not gonna be making it out of here. Or at the very least, you're underestimating Shigaraki. After all, last time I checked, you started off with the first war, winning as well, and the end results were, well, let's just say they could have been better for you guys. So, anyways, then we have see a shot of Izuku, Bakugo. I'm feeling that might be Nejire as well. Some other. Actually, I think I also see Agile Miracle there. as they are blasting, what I'm going to assume is in Shiraki's place, as there we see a wire going to one of Deku's arms, tying it to it, as we see Izuku being pulled into a different warp gate. As there we have Bakugo's gonna blow him to bits. As Izuku's just in his predicament, be like, "What?" As Bakugo's like, "Huh?" As then they leave the area and we see just them being warp gate to a different facilities as they battle. We'll see a bunch of people there, but I'm guessing those are the heroes and the villains who just remain in that area where they were battling. So yes, anyways, then we have All Might screaming, on top of his line, like, Fat Gum, capture everyone the gates missed. You're in command. Take good care of Ayama. As Fat Gum's then like, Roger that. As then as then we see an arc here behind Fat Gum, who I think was doing the Isekai arc. As then we have Fat Gum be like, we'll beat you here. That was a hell of a bluff, kid. As then Aoyama's like, messy. Still a bit nervous, but yeah. No, I feel like this is probably just gonna be like off screen. It's gonna be like capturing the heroes who are working for the Panama Liberation Fund. We're not probably gonna focus a lot on it. Maybe we will, but I'm guessing not. So anyways, then we see someone calling, I'm guessing Oma being calling, saying, Young Monoma, regroup with the Aizawa. As Monoma says on it. So yeah. Now, some people are questioning on why Monoma is going to where Aizawa is. Well, the possibility are either in my opinion, three things. First thing is maybe he's gonna try to get Aizawa's eraser quirk right now, so they'll have like maximal amount of time with it. So it will not be like, every second of eraser's quirk is a valuable second. So for him to, have it now and wasting its time while he's, warping everyone around, it just would just not be a very practical thing to do. The second option is maybe what they have more plans, but maybe no, I'm not sure exactly if it was ever stated in Monoma's quirk file, but I don't think. But maybe what they're gonna try to do now is like all the quirks they want Monoma to have, or the ones they don't have full uses of. Maybe they want to like constantly recharge them. So like how you have a phone and you have like say 30% of battery, but you can still use it. But you don't wanna waste time the battery is too low to 30,000 to charge, but you wanna charge it immediately. Maybe that's what's gonna happen. Where one of my or he wasted a few minutes with the warp gate. Now come back so you can recharge those few minutes lost, or maybe more. I'm not exactly sure. And the third option is we'll get this that third option a bit later. Well, immediately. It's just we have to go by all for one statements first. So yeah, anyways, then we have Omar saying the separation was successful. The real battle starts now. And then we have Omar saying time for phase two. All right. As then we have a bunch of the villains falling from the air. I guess they were just going to a random. I guess they were going to a location that had of more of a advantage to the heroes in terms of where they were falling to. As then I was like, welcome. As he goes there, and even with only a few wings, he's actually fast enough to like get a hit on All For One. As he actually does hit All For One's container. As All For One is not even like reacting to it. He's just like, Gunga Mountain. I see. Like his respirator is like, okay, it does seem to be a bit damage, but it hasn't been like anything major. So anyways, then we have Hawks be like, I'm sorry, Never-san. My attacks don't have enough power to go through that things he's wearing. Which is very impressive for All For One's helmet thing. So as then we have and they'll be like, no stress. I wasn't expecting that anyway. As then we have all for Endeavor giving like a long speech like All For One. Revealed that suit large warp quirk in the Battle of Camino. It seems to be an inferior version of Kurogiri's quirks. I feel like most of us thought it was. The reach of his warp is a lot shorter and the user can warp themselves either. We fortified the UA barrier, taking all of that into account. All of this was due to your hubris, and it will now lead to your downfall. Really better speech by Endeavor. As then we have Overwatch as he's looking at Endeavor and Hawks, he's like, "You aim to split us up and crush us individually. I might say that's quite the plan. If you got taken into consideration, you can even beat us separately." So I guess Overwatch is now saying, "Yeah, all right, are you sure you can beat us all separately?" And then we have Overwatch saying, "You've done nothing more than divide the already dwindling stock of heroes. What a terrible person you are, Endeavor." Is then we have him saying, Overwatch saying, "Did you leave one for all to face off against Tomura? I'm not sure if it was the best decision. Such a cruel way to distribute them all. Leaving his youngest son to fight his brother, all to clean up the mess you created." As we see, is Shoto to Anomu, Ida, and Burden on the All Might uh, statues as where it seems to be have a new billboard saying "Heroes must die," facing off against Darby, whose outfit just looks even worse than it looked before, and Darby even seems to look more burnt than before. So yeah, that's where they are. Now, this is actually what I was referring to earlier when I said the third option with Monoma, is that maybe their plan right now is to have Monoma join with Aizawa to make sure that there are no attacks on the UA. Because something that you will notice in this chapter, the last chapter, is that Spinner doesn't seem to be there, like, at all. Which is very interesting considering that before this whole fight, it's been mentioned by All For One and Skeptic that how important Spinner is. Like, your message will matter. Like, you will get the followers. And weirdly enough, we haven't seen him here. Which does make you wonder, where is he? And All For One here states that their heroes' numbers are very small right now. So, if there was any kind of plans, like, for example, freeing Jigen to Makia, for the most part, Spinner would be able to do it with not much difficulty. So it's possible that Spinner and possibly Skeptic and maybe some other quirk users have are currently in the location where Gigantomachia is to free him. After all, he is nowhere to be found, and the heroes might actually have a plan for that. After all, the heroes are not dumb. I feel like they would have found out about how popular Spinner is. Like, they might have not mentioned Spinner directly, but I feel like someone should bring him up at some point. Especially how many times they brought up the rest of the league, so it would make sense. But anyways, we'll see on that part. So yeah, now let's go into the discussion between Shoto and Darby, which is actually rather short. As then we have at the ending just with Shoto and Darby facing each other off as Alpha's like, "How long do you plan on abusing your children?" Which is kind of true, but to be fair, Alpha, you might be abusing your children as well. Anyways, then we get like a floating building, is the best way I could describe it. As then we have the warp gate shot up there as uh, Shiraki is falling from the warp gate. It's like, what's going on? Which is kind of funny how Tomoe seems to be acting right now. It's kind of like, what the fuck am I doing here? Where am I? What's going on? But yeah, anyways, then we see Boa screaming, "Hey, Genius, this is bad. Something's gone wrong," as he screams to Genius about, Deku being kidnapped, kind of thing. So yeah, I guess things are not looking any better. And the Bloods is already been fucking screwed up. Well, this is kind of interesting. So anyways, then we have Bakugo screaming, "Deku ain't here!" As then we cut to see where Deku actually is, as we see that he is where Toga, Ochako, and Tsuyu are, as it was Toga the one who pulled him there. And we also see, I don't know, it seems to be some kind of aquarium type of location, honestly. As we see him there with two knee-high normals and a few aqua villains. Not sure where the rest of the heroes are, since they would trust this operation to only Ochako and Tsuyo, but for the lack of a better term, they are the only ones I can see and tell. So they're battling. Anyways, they were for be like, Deku-kun, why are you? You're supposed to be where Shigaki is, which is true. So, but well, by the looks of things, it seems to be Toga, which to be fair should be very obvious to you, woman. I mean, can't you see the wire for God's sakes? So as then we have that could be like my danger sense didn't even activate. As we see Toga twinkling her fingers with a wire, she's looking at Naku as narrator ends the chapter with amidst a chaos-filled war, Toga Himiko's goals remain unclear. So yeah, something is planned here with Toga. So F chapter. Now I'm going to assume this means that the first part of the story we're gonna be focusing on will be the part with Toga's part right now to kind of wrap her story up. So yeah, where could this story? I mean, of course, we're gonna cut to other stuff. Like I wouldn't be surprised at all. But the way I see it right now, if my fear about Spitter's actions are correct, then I could see like we focus guys on Toga and Dobby's parts, and we wrap them up. Then we have the Spinner and Gigantomachia, wherever that story is gonna go. Then we wrap that up, and then we have Ofa and Shiraki, but we'll see where this is gonna go. So yeah. Anyways, where the Toga is going here? Now I heard some people saying that Toga's gotta switch sides, so like she's gotta tell something very important, or like she's gotta betray or something like that. No, I'm not saying this is not impossible, but I feel like what's more likely and honestly more bad and probably has a few other things that I probably shouldn't be saying it, but no, as we all know, Toga when she loves someone, she kinda like kills them and wants their blood. And she loves well, Izuku, Tsuyu, and Ochako. So I think it's likely that she might not wanna be alive anymore. Like, let's be real here. The villains themselves acknowledge they can't go back. We can't have quiet life. Like it's like we either win this and we live the lives we want, or we get defeated and capture. We spend the rest of our lives locked up somewhere. So with all that, I feel like what Toga might actually want to do now is have Ochako, Tsuyu, or Izuku, one of those three, end her life, in a sense. Again, it might be a bit too morbid, but I could see that being where we are heading. Not saying it is, but I could see that's where we are headed. And I could see Toga using Twice's blood as like the thing that's gonna force them into it. Like she'll get Twice's blood, she'll transform into Twice, she'll use Sandman's parade on such a scale that they are going to have to do it. Like Toga herself is not all that durable once you actually think about it. Like she's not weak. Like she handled a good number of explosions, right in her head directly, but she herself isn't exactly like if two trucks hit her, she would die. Or if she got hit by any one of the more physical, she would be on the ground. Like maybe she wouldn't be dying, but she would be on the ground. Like she's not physical. So if Izuku goes, I would say any percentage between one above 10%, I would say it's more than enough to do the deed. Or if Chaco does the same thing Toga did to Curious, it will do the deed. Not sure about Tsuyu, but you got what I mean. Like, it will not be difficult. So I could see that be what Toga wants here, but I don't know we'll go that dark with it. Like, this is like very dark material we're talking about. Also having the war in current times is also very dark to have, but you can't control times and stories at all. But yeah. So yeah, that's the end of the chapter. Now I hope you like this reaction. I hope you leave your thoughts in the comments below and tell me in the comments below what do you think Toga's plans are. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.